Thank you for joining in. Hopefully, people will receive notifications of this video. God bless you all that they are watching. Welcome everybody. I am Oscar Blue for Border Negro News, correspondent for Real America's Voice News and the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Thank you so much for joining in on this evening. It is almost 9 o'clock over here, live from Mexico City. Thank you for joining in. Sharing is caring. So if you would like to share this video, like the video, share the video, like the video, share the video. That is the way that you can help us spread the word and, support us as we, only ask to like the video and share the video. Today, the most important event in history of the conservative movement and also the right-wing movement in our country of Mexico was held today in Mexico City. It's the first time that they do this event, CPAC Mexico, that it was hosted and it was brought by the chairman now of CPAC in Mexico, that is Eduardo Verastegui. Eduardo Verastegui, he is a big conservative. He used to be an actor, soap opera actor, model. Now he's a producer of movies that are regarding trafficking of children, that are regarding the abuse towards children, and that they are regarding trafficking of human beings around the globe. He has done multiple films about this. He has rescued so many children, and he's a Catholic that has his own, following, that is millions of people following, and he does a prayer every night for the world to bring peace. He's pro-God, pro-values, pro-family, and he was the one that brought this political movement into the country of Mexico. It is not the first time that he's going to do it. He's going to do it every year. Mexico City is not going to be the host of every CPAC. They wanted to do it over here because of the comfort and the commodity of people moving around. Next CPAC, apparently they're going to do it in bigger stages, like possibly Monterrey or possibly Guadalajara, that they're biggest cities, and also they're important cities. Mexico is an important city, possibly in the top 5 cities of our country. But they're going to do it in a diversity of cities, also in border cities, in the next incoming years. That's every year. CPAC Mexico, as we broadcast today, and several hits with and several broadcasts with our Real America's Voice News. They asked me as a Mexican, with Mr. C. Bannon, also with different broadcasters and in different journalists. They were asking me this question with my colleague Ben Berquam, that we were actually doing live hits from the particular stage. They were asking me, how do you feel as a Mexican? How do you think this is going to provide help to Mexico? And I said, this is huge. This is enormous. This political conservative movement being brought to the country of Mexico brings hope that to all people that they do not stand against the left, the people they do not stand against the demonic left, people they do not stand against this demonic agenda, and ultimately people that they are against, the conversion of children into this, this demonic trend, demonic gender status that they try to establish. It is now at a bigger stage, and in the bilateral relations that they have been created on this political stage that is CPAC in Mexico has been enormous, has been great. Mr. Steve Bannon was present in a Zoom call. Also, Jack Posobiec, a great friend of ours, also was here. Eduardo Bolsonaro was arriving. We did a really quick interview. Eduardo Bolsonaro, it is the son of the president of Bolsonaro, and he explained the corruption that is existing by the leftists and by the communist political parties in the country of Brazil, that right now it's experiencing something that is historic. Multiple hundreds of thousands of people are protesting outside of the street. Also, multiple people were there speaking. There were people that they have escaped, and they're professors and they have doctors against communism and socialism. People from Denmark, people from all parts of the world were here. One of the most, I believe, the two of the greatest, the pinnacle of my journalistic career was on this political stage on an interview that I did. But it was two interviews. One of them was Tim Ballard. Tim Ballard, it is a guy that I started following every once in a while, but his incredible work to rescue children, to rescue the trafficking of children, to stop the enormous trafficking of children, enormous trafficking of people. It is enormous. It is huge. All of the people that they are investigating over trafficking of children and abuse of children, look what they say. And it is so important that they say this on this political stage at a CPAC. They say the number one habilitator, the number one provider, the number one buyer for pedophilia, and also for child trafficking, it is the United States of America. That is one big statement from all speakers. They were saying this particular statement. The number one buyer for pedophilia, child trafficking, and child pornography, it is the United States of America. The number one habilitator for that to happen, it is the country of Mexico. This is why it was so important to bring these kind of people so they can bring into light, into a podium where they can explain how important it is that we have a collateral relationship, that we can stop this. This is why I have been so emphatic since I started broadcasting with the unaccompanied minors and the trafficking of children that is existing in our countries. And I have been so emphatic and consistent on saying to you guys, this is an actual problem. Tim Ballard did a great explanation. You know, one of the things that I admire about this man, he's an American. He rescued and he adopted two migrant children from Haiti. He is a pro-migrant, investigative activist and rescuer of children that they are being trafficked. But other than that, he explains this woke ideology, how this woke ideology, it is all connected and tied up to the leftist communist agenda. This woke ideology, it is changing the perspective of how to address the name to pedophiles, changing the name to pedophiles because they don't want to use the name to pedophiles because it is offensive. And he says, good that it's offensive, because that is what we want. We want these criminals and these horrific people to stop. And we want to protect our children. That's the number one thing. This woke ideology, he explained it so well. And I was so amazed on how he put every piece of the puzzle on this woke mentality. This woke mentality, it is coming from the United States of America. And he said it on a podium and is brushing on to countries like Mexico, Central and South America. This movement of these demonic movement of woke ideologies, of this extreme trafficking, and to make it more normalized of this pedophilia, it is coming more from the United States of America. It is where it is awakening. This is why it is so important that we hear these people speak. And when they speak on a podium that is all with international audience, with Latin American audience, Central and South American audience, that all of them, they're putting attention and they're listening to what they're saying. They're like, how in the hell did we not know that this was happening? And this woke ideology, it is the one that is providing and is being the habilitator for these traffickers to continue and to babysit this idea of pornography, of child pornography, of pedophilia, and ultimately of child trafficking. That is the number one situation. We met Tim Ballard. I had the honor to talk to him, and I had the honor to create a great contact with him. We shook his hand. We met him. We did a great interview, and I told, and in particular, I touched this subject with him, and we are going We are going to push forward on this and possibly work together and to what it is, the NGOs. I told him, Tim, did you know that the NGOs, a lot of NGOs that they're coming from the United States of America are creating fake marriages, are creating fake matrimonies, and that is the way that they are trafficking unaccompanied minors into the United States of America to accomplish asylum and refugee. He was surprised and stunned. He said, we need to dig into that and we need to find a solution for that, to stop that and to create filters into the countries that they're in Central and South America. So when it gets to North America and the United States, it is already controlled. The bad thing about it, he said, that we are under an administration that likes all that kind of crap and that likes all that kind of disgusting agenda. And it is so bad that it's uncontrollable, but we need to step up and we need to push forward. A great man. You know, I was really excited to meet him. And when you're talking to him, it just contagious the energy of what he has done and all the things that he is providing and all the things that he is habilitating to speak about the enormous child trafficking and abuse towards children that is existing. But the most important thing that he does, and that he does into a perfect stage, it is the way that he explains everything of the globalist and the woke agenda. It is the way that he explains the thing. And the most amazing thing is that when he explains about that the United States of America is the #1 buyer for child pornography and child trafficking. So that is a huge concerning thing for the country of the United States of America. This is why I asked him this question when we were in an interview. Later on, we will post it on our platforms. I said, Tim, what do you think about the more than 34,000 unaccompanied minors that they have arrived in the year 2021 and more than 16,000 now on the year 2022? These unaccompanied minors are arriving, but it's all connected with the woke ideology. How can we just put a stop to it? How can we do something about it? And he said, that's why our voices are really important. That's why the voice of my colleague, Ben Bergquam, is so important. Your voice is so important, and my voice is so important to keep on pushing and to keep on exposing this global demonic leftist agenda. And that is the only way that we will spread the word, and we will not give out, we will not give up, and ultimately we will continue the #1 thing to expose this leftist progressive idea and ideology. After that, there was a little protest outside of activists from Antifa and these leftist activists that they want Marxism and they want globalism, and they are saying that the imperialistic right, they are doing this to imperialistically put laws against the citizens. We went outside and then we came back. We sat down for a little bit, and then we did a couple of more interviews. We did a couple of more hits during the day. It was a really exhausting day. We met a lot of people, really gorgeous people, all of them extremely nice, extremely informative, and also created a lot of networking and a lot of relations. But the most important interview that I will say that is the pedestal of my career as a journalist and as a reporter, it was an interview that I did with Eduardo Verastegui, that he's the chairman of CPAC Mexico, and he's a big public figure in our country of Mexico. As he was finishing his press conference, before he finished his press conference, Ben Bergquam we were all the way to the back. And you know, Ben is like 6'5", 6'6". He stood up with his phone and he asked him this question in English. For the American audience, Eduardo, what do you think about the globalists and the leftists and the communists? They're trying to destroy America, and now they're trying to destroy Mexico. And he said something that it stood in our heads. And, you know, and in front of national, international press, this man stood in front of all of them, and with courage and character, he said this: we are brothers and sisters, Mexico and the United States. We need to stand together to defend and protect our countries. It's not only to make the America great, it's also to make Mexico great together and bring God into our lives. I was surprised. I was like, wow, that was incredible the way that he responded. After that, he finished, and as he was walking, I said, I'm going to try to talk to him. And he stopped. And he actually stopped and he shook my hand, said, "Nice to meet you." I said, "My name is Oscar Ramirez. I'm a journalist from Tijuana. I want to ask you something about the unaccompanied minors. There are more than 34,000 unaccompanied minors that they arrived to the northern borders of the United States of America. The problem is that Mexico is the habilitator for that. Mexico is the one that is letting them walk. What can we do as a country to try to create a filter for the children to not keep walking all the way into the borders of the United States of America?" Which he responded, "This is a leftist agenda. The leftist agenda and the socialists, they're using the poverty and the suffering of people to exile all the mass migration in Central and South America. And meanwhile, they're exiling and they're pushing with poverty and they're pushing with necessity. Now you have these enormous traffickers and you have the coyotes and all these organizations working together, and they take advantage of these current situations. Yes, we have a problem, and the solution, look what he told me. The solution is to create a stronger border, a secure border. That's what he said. The solution is to create a stronger border between Mexico and Guatemala, and also to create a stronger border between the United States and Mexico. That is the solution for this. If we create a stronger border and a secure border between two countries, we will have a decrease of enormous child trafficking and enormous human smuggling that is happening in our countries. Shook his hand, say thank you. Great moment in my journalistic, career. A lot of have had great moments around my career, and when I was a journalist for sports, when I was broadcasting for sports, one of the pinnacles of my career when I was, doing reporting and also calling fights, it was to interview Julio Cesar Chavez, the great Mexican champion, and I did that on the radio station, and that was like the highest pinnacle of my career in sports broadcasting. Also, Eric El Terrible Morales, when we had a really private interview, and it was, some kind of like a podcast. It was kind of like a pinnacle. But today that we shifted into being journalists of immigration, this day was a really proud moment for us, as Eduardo Verastegui stood in front of us, shook his hand, and also, we took a picture, we talked for a little bit, and tomorrow possibly we're going to have more to discuss as we talked later on in the lobby. We talked later on in the lobby. Also, Ben talked to him, and ultimately they had a mutual conversation between them. It was a great day. It's really exhausting day. A lot of people. The head chief of CPAC, Mr. Matt Schlapp. I think it is the way that you you say his last name. The creator of CPAC in the United States of America. We met him. So really great gentleman, great man, really nice man. We shook hands, and ultimately, it's so important. It is so important that we meet and we have these kind of great relationships. A lot of the good things that I can say about this analysis of this first CPAC day, it is that a lot of people were there. A lot of young people were there. That is one of the things that I was really surprised, that I was really taken over by. A lot of young females, young males, they were there. Supporting, clapping, and also ultimately getting excited of the things that they are bringing into the table. I believe that this will open the door for a great movement. And the movement, it is called Movimiento Mexico. That is a movement of Eduardo Verastegui. That is the rescuing, abuse towards children and trafficking of children, and also he talks about organ harvesting. Also, that is another thing that he says that it's humongous. That is operated in the continent of America towards Europe and towards the United States of America. That is another disgusting problem. But great day. What I can say till now, exhausting, yes, but really important day. Mr. Steve Bannon was on the prompt. He was on a video speaking about everything that is happening, how this agenda of the America First agenda, Mexico First agenda, always your country first agenda. It is so important to continue with this. This agenda for the good and the sake of the country, and ultimately to save every country like a domino effect, to help every country as a domino effect. I believe that it was a great meeting today. International press really, they were really helpful. And also, not only that, not only international press, it was here, press here and there, leftist, press that it was there, present, trying to constantly, irritate the situation, but nobody was putting attention to them. They were irrelevant to the moment. A lot of us, we were, kind of like a gathering together to see what can it be done from now on. There was two ladies that they were coming from Brazil. Right now, the current situation in Brazil, it is really delicate as the people are fighting against the leftist elections. That particularly there was a question that it was asked right now when Eduardo Bolsonaro arrived into the stage. Ben Berquam asked him this question: do you believe that the elections were stolen in Brazil? And Eduardo Bolsonaro said, yes, yes, the elections were stolen. And you can see it right now. There's hundreds and thousands of people outside in the streets, camping out, protesting that they want their country back, that they don't want this leftist communist president to be president in the parts of Brazil. So many things happening. Another topic that it needs to be touched, it is how this new electoral reform that trying to reform the electoral college, the Mexican president is trying to do that. That has a lot of impacts today on CPAC. There was a topic about that. A lot of people were talking about it, how they are trying to change the electoral college system to bring in electrical machines as they are doing in the United States of America. And that ultimately that will be a big topic. And it was a big topic today. But the most amazing thing was a lot of these political figures sitting down, a lot of these networks arriving and talking, speaking. A lot of speakers, they were really interesting speakers, people that I did not know, people that have wrote so many books in terms to how to beat communism, how to beat socialism, and all these kind of things, and all these kind of situations. Somebody saying, I didn't think that you were a fan of Bolsonaro. I'm not a fan of Bolsonaro. I'm just saying what is happening in Brazil. No, and not even in 1 second of this broadcast, I have said that I was a fan of Bolsonaro. So going back to the topic, great day of broadcasting, great day of journalism, and ultimately, really proud moment today as we have a moment with the chairman of the CPAC, to have a conversation with them and to touch the most important topic, that is the trafficking of children and the unaccompanied minors that are arriving into the United States of America. We have done exhaustive and exacerbated work. My partner and my brother, Anthony Agüero, my colleague and friend and brother, Ben Berquam, yours truly, we have done exacerbated work. It's so exhausting to continue to do this work on the borders. Also, I would like to say thank you to all the people that they approach us and said, I watch you on War Room, I watch you on Real America's Voice, and I follow you on your platforms. A lot of people came over and said these beautiful things to us, and it's a feeling that it keeps you going. Ultimately, it brings you to a better day. It brings light to your day, and the continuous support and beautiful words of a lot of people that they were there. It was really nice. It was really nice to hear that from the public, and thank you so much for the support and appreciation for that. We will continue to do our jobs as to expose everything that is happening in our borders. That is our calling, to continue to do that, and we will never give up. We have been attacked by multiple leftist tabloids and wannabe journalists and activists, and we're never going to stop. We're going to continue. And that is the reality. We know this is our country of Mexico. I'm a Mexican citizen, and I was born here. So we have the whole entitled right, as the Constitution says, Article 6 and 7, of freedom of speech and freedom of communication. And we will continue to exercise our right and to exercise our freedom of right to communicate and to broadcast. Thank you to all your words and support. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for the people that are sending coffees. Thank you, Ms. Jan. Thank you for the coffees. I don't know who else sent a coffee, but thank you so much. We haven't gotten that much sleep. It is almost 8 o'clock at night. I think a cold shower and a cup of coffee, and do some editing on some video, and I will call it a night. We haven't gotten no sleep. About we had like 2 hours of sleep, and I think that it has been a really long day. So we need to rest up and get ready for another day, and then another day, and another day, and another day. So we need to recuperate, regroup. But before I say good night, I would like to say thank you to all of the audience that has been, sending beautiful and supportive messages to our platform and to our, to different platforms that we have, to our network, Real America's Voice News. The voice of the people. I am proud to represent Real America's Voice News Network. Second opportunities come. God is great. God is beautiful. God is the most amazing, beautiful human being, and only Him can shine the light on our lives. And only Him is where to we go for forgiveness and for second chances in life. So I want to thank God first and foremost for that. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Follow me at all my pages: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Getter, and Instagram is Oscar L. Blue Ramirez, and also Oscar L. Blue. You can find me OscarBlueRamirez.com. Our website. I haven't written that much on our website. I have been really busy, and it's really exhausting for me to do all these things. But I'm trying to catch up, trying to do the best that I can. Say hello to every single one of you. Follow my partner, Real Anthony Agüero. Also, thank you to Allison, Dev, and Andrea. Thank you for the coffees. Thank you so much. God bless you. Follow my partner, Real Anthony Agüero. Follow Ben Berquan, Real America's Voice News, the voice of the people. Follow Real America's Voice News. Download the app. It is free. And also download the app of Wendy Bell Radio Network. It is free. God bless you. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, peace and love. Because always your country's first. God bless. Stay safe.